read your thoughts and the flames in your eyes. I'm born to love again. I'm a brand new man. Wow. Talking about a line I'm walking. I leads right to your door. I used to roll. I was a rolling stone. I used to hobble outside. It's a country mile. I bundle their joint stand. Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are on to the motivational show of Team Abel. And of course, today we're going to run a 30 days challenge with you. I am doing this because I know that a lot of people have gone through a whole lot of mess in the last 10, 15, 20, 30, or 40 years. Now, no matter where you are at this point in time, I want to reassure you that there is a hope, there is a light at a tunnel, and I want you to pay listening attention to me. Now, today, I am doing this basically for some major reasons. Now, if you take a look at the very moment you wake up in that bed every morning, what exactly comes to your mind straight? What do you start doing immediately? For a good number of people in the last few years will know this, and it's very true, that the first thing someone wakes up to do is to pick their phones and then start browsing and probably start responding to comments or chipping in comments or just doing something on the internet. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad idea. It's not anything wrong. But I'm going to tell you some few things that would help reshape how you go about doing that every morning. In case you're just watching this video 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or as a first video you're about to watch, or the first activity you're about to take part in today, hold on. I don't want you to get off this page. Just stay with me, and probably from the coming days, you would stop doing that particular thing. Because the truth is, a lot of times it spoils our day. A lot of times it harms us. Now, when you wake up in the morning every day, apart from the fact that the phone is usually the first thing you just move onto or you hold grasp to and start surfing. Apart from that, a lot of thoughts come into our minds, and those thoughts that get into our mind usually form the greater part of our day. If those thoughts are basically bad thoughts, they will spoil the whole day for us. If the thoughts you had to go through the first few minutes or hours of the day while in bed are great thoughts, are good thoughts, are exciting thoughts, it means it's definitely going to make your day a sweet day. I don't know 100% if this goes for everybody, but for most people I've spoken with, for my own particular self, I know that this happens every now and then. You wonder sometimes when you go to the office, after everything, you just get to the office and you just can't picture exactly why you're not happy. You begin to think through what exactly has gone wrong, and you can lay your hands on it. This is the reason you wake up in the morning filled with bad thoughts, probably from your dreams or whatever, or reminiscing actions that that took place in your life through the night or a day before then, and you spoil the whole new day for yourself. Now, I want to say this here that the reason I want you to go on this 30 days challenge is simple. A lot of us lack the understanding of how life actually plays out. A lot of us don't understand how this life works. I am not someone who would say he's perfect as a Buddhism studying life in itself. But for the few people I've listened to, for the few books I've read, and for the few things I've practiced over the last few years of my life, in this world, I have come to realize how important it is for every one of us, especially great thoughts of doing the best we can to actualize our very great dreams. It's important a clear understanding of how these things work in the ordinary world be known to us. Now, for centuries, we have actually been misled by probably the people we find ourselves with, or our parents, our grandparents, or the society. We've been brainwashed even by the religious environment where we find ourselves. And for a good number of us, we've been used in a course of actually trying to help us go through life process so that we can achieve the needed success that we really want to have. But unfortunately, most times these are not actually the things that really can impact the kind of success you really need in your life. They are not the things that can actually change the direction of things for you. It's okay to say pray. While you pray, there is every reason that God answers. But see, it's important to note that if you are not on this part of the physical doing your own best, you are just wasting your time. So I thought about this and I said, I used this method a few years ago and it worked for me. And I've stuck with a few of those things that I tried to do when I started. And maybe I should throw it up as a challenge for a good number of people who listen to me, who really want to have a change of life generally. This is not about coming to sell anything for you, it's not selling a product. I'm just trying to see how I can encourage you if you were in my shoes a few years ago. So you can have a rebooting of your life. So you can begin to tread on the path that can actually get you off the hook of the messy situations where you find yourself today. Now, today's society tends to make some of these things that we do a norm rather than a choice. I agree with the fact that the first thing they ask you to do when you wake up in the morning is, oh, learn to pray. A great thing. I love it. I was brought up in that way and I've always done it. Apart from that fact, it's also important to know that these are norms, they are cultures, and for so many of those type of things, they've helped to build many of us. They've helped to actually put us through life's challenges in the right way. But aside the prayer aspect, there are other things that we have been taught to do every day, and most of these things don't actually yield results. So I thought that rather than stick with the norms, let's try to make some choices for ourselves. Let's try to make something totally different from what we've always known. And it's definitely not going to be easy. It's not going to be a straitjacket thing. But I can assure you that for the very basic things of life, your relationship, your health, your family, your finances, your career, your business, your economy, whatever you think are the basic things that actually run your day to day life, it's important that you have a preparation for it. It's important that you mold yourself in such a way that you can actually flow with the things that come with it. So that at the end of the day, you won't be like the man who has gone out early hours of the morning, worked from morning till night, and comes back home hungry. He cannot even fend for his family. You won't be like the one who has received a certificate after graduation from school, after graduation from an apprentice job, and he's stuck still in the house, not knowing the next line of action to take. Hunger, hatred begins to come. Unhappiness begins to come. You before you get to know it, illnesses sets in. And before you also know it, homes, lovely homes, begin to break. Marriages crumble, and a whole lot of challenges come with not being able to control your day, not being able to be in charge of whatever you get into every day. So the 30 days challenge is going to run from today, being the 10th of August. For as long as you can do this for the next 30 days, I can bet you can do it forever. So I want you to stick with me in this very, very show. Now, of course, I'm not going to take your time, but I want you to say a few things. We all know that when you have challenges in life, when you are in problems, when you lack employment, you don't have money to feed your family, you're sick, just name all the problems you know. Even today, where we have a country and the number of people living in this country or the number of population in this country outweighs even the resources that comes from the government, the popular solution someone would just tell you is, oh, find a way and go to school. But what happens? We have a lot, hundreds, millions of graduates today without a job. That's the norm. It's not a choice. It's a norm. The mindset is, oh, when you go to school, you get a job. But we have people who have gone to school without jobs. Now, another challenge is, oh, by the time you try to do something different, they say, no, come on, it's not that way. Go back and use the old ways. Stick with the old ways, or else nothing happens. No, my dear brother, my dear sister, I'll tell you this. It's no longer sticking with the old ways that was. There are so many things that have changed over the years, over the decades, and you need to begin to look in the direction of the revolution that has caught up with our generation so that you can also have a step ahead in life. I remember many times when my parents, just shortly after I resigned from my banking job, many times my parents, my siblings would call me, oh, Tim, why did you resign? You have to go back to the banking job again. You have to. That's the norm because they feel that any man who comes out of school should just go straight, get a white collar job. Nobody thinks of the fact that without a white collar job, you can still survive, which of course a lot of people are surviving in the society. You either join the military or you join the civil service. They just think about pension. That has been the old ways, and it's still holding on to lives today. How do you break out of it? How do you begin to move out of this if you do not follow the new trend? If you do not revolutionize your own mindset? These are very important things we must understand. And guess what? When things happen, that's the old way. When things happen, people just say, oh, thing, it has happened, it has happened. That's the will of God. Hey, team, it has happened, it has happened. That's destiny. Oh, team, this is what God has said must happen. Who told you? There are so many things that we have negated God for, which were not truly His plans for us. I am talking about this as a Christian. I'm talking about this as a believer, and I am also talking to you because I know you are a believer. No matter what the religion you belong to, be it Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, or whatever, this whole thing about, oh, it's destiny has caught up with a lot of people, has caught up with a lot of mindsets, and has really cut short the lives of so many in the society today. So I am trying to see how we can have a change of mind. We can have not just a change of mindset, but a kind of revolution in our day to day activity. By the time you begin to practice these things I'm going to talk about in the next 30 days, and you can go beyond it, I can bet you so many things are going to change for you. You begin to feel good about yourself. You begin to see how life actually wants you to move. You begin to see how easy some things that you have always struggled for, you have always struggled about, are easy as A, B, and C. Now, I tell people many times, this is no pride, but I say this that I do not see any reason why I cannot feed myself again. I do not see any reason why I cannot take care of my immediate family. And why am I saying this? I'm not saying this out of pride. I'm saying this because over the years, I have come to discover some very powerful secrets about how to actually raise finances for your oneself without going to knock on the doors of the bank, without going to wait for palliatives from the government, without going to call on a friend to say, oh, lend me this amount of money and hopefully I will pay you back. Or without even sitting somewhere and thinking that, oh, let the rain fall, let the rain of luck fall, so that it rains on me so much that I can build those castles in the air. Hey, I have a solution, and I'm going to share that with you in the next 30 days. And it starts today. By the time you're done listening to me on this show, I want you to just stick with it. But before I go in fully with the things I want to reveal to you, there are three things basically that I want to reveal to you. But before I go into it, I just want you to listen to my very brand song, um, Brooks and Dunn. I'm a brand new man. Baptized by the power of your torch and the flames in your eye. I'm born to love again. I'm a brand new man. Boom. I used to roam. I was a rolling stone. I used to travel outside, there's a country mile. I burn those bear joints down. Let's all change now. All right, it's Team Abel on the Motivation Show, and we're running a 30 days challenge in the month of August, starting from the 10th of August 2020. And I want you to stick with us, plans. It's three things, three major things I want to share with you on the show. Now, if you haven't been doing it, or even if you have been doing it, I want you to do it differently this time around. I want you to do it in such a way that you have your consciousness about it, and you know that there is a future out of what you are about to do. It's a 30 days challenge. Now, but before I go in, discipline actually plays a major role in the lives of every successful man or woman that you think about. Discipline is the key for every man or woman that you know is successful and has sustained success over the years. Discipline is the key or the secret that they have. Now, it doesn't matter if you have seen anybody who has a successful relationship, if you have seen anybody who has a successful financial life, health, just name it. Discipline is their major secret. Discipline for the things they need to do and the things they don't need to do. Discipline plays a major role. Now, there are three things that you too can start doing from today. And I want you to just give yourself 2 or 3 hours each day to do these things I'm going to share with you. And by the end of 30 days, see the results. If it impresses you, great. Move on with it. If it doesn't, if there is no change at all with your present life, then call me and tell me it's a rubbish I've actually shared with you. I say this, and it covers a whole lot of things. Number one, your health. Number two, your relationship. Number three, your family. Number four, your finances. Number five, your business or your career. Number six, your probably health, your health, basically. I'm sure I've mentioned that of health here. And anything you can think of, anything you can, if you think you're actually an employee of an organization and you have a specific function that you perform on a day-to-day basis, then include that as part of what this 30 days plan is going to look like. Now, for the first one, but before the first one, I'm going to tell you this. It's simple. That this 30 days challenge is not going to be one simple thing. It's not something that you can just say, oh, it's very easy to do and all of that. I can tell you it's not an easy task to go with. But I will tell you that in the end, you will find these are the things in this 30 days, these are the things I want you to do. Now, the first, have a clear understanding of how your day must run. Your goals must be a major part of for this next 30 days. Do not get up from that bed without having a clear understanding of any man who wants to get to from point A to point B has to know the disruption, or else you're going to have distractions. A whole lot of things will happen. So when you wake up in that bed in the morning, first thing you should do is to use your mind for that day. Know exactly the things you must do for that day while on your bed. And make sure that you have a pen and paper by your side. Write them down immediately. Then share it with your partner. If you have a wife, share it. If you have a husband, share it. Let your partner be your anchor, be your co-anchor for your day. If you actually want to be in control of your day, you need to be accountable. You need to be accountable. So get your closest partner who can actually ask you, were you able to fulfill those things you actually wrote? And you'll be able to say yes. Or if you leave it to yourself, if you have not been doing it before, if you leave it to yourself, it may be difficult. Now, for you who is a single man or woman, loved ones, any of your loved ones who you think you're very close to, you can share these things with the person. Now, what are the things I want you to do? As a Christian, as a religious person, I believe in prayers, so you can do your prayers for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes before you get up on that bed. Number 2, pick a motivational video and listen to it, or a motivational audio, listen to it. Whatever can motivate your day, pick it and listen to it. Because for you to help correct that part for you in the morning, first thing you should do is to actually listen to a motivational speaker. The next is run a 30 minutes exercise. It could be a sit up, it could be just swinging your legs, whatever that can give you some kind of little strength in your body and make you feel really agile for the day. Just do it. 30 minutes is a good one for a start. Remember, it's a 30 days challenge we're doing in the month of August. Now, another is probably call 50 customers if you're into business. Just call about 50 customers of yours if you are into business, or you're an employer of an organization which is doing actually sales and marketing. Make sure you write 50 names that you want to call for that day. Or sorry, please, for the breaking transmission. So reach out to about 50 of your customers, reach out to about 20 old customers, then write an article to share with your fans. Write an article to share with your fans, or write something. Just talk about your day. Talk about your plans. Remember, a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are following you, a lot of people love to hear from you. Just write something and share with them. If you go to my Facebook page or my Instagram page, you'll see a whole lot of content every day that we share. Every day. We make it a compulsory part that in our businesses, every day we must write some content and share with our colleagues. Maybe helping them to find a path forward, or teaching them something, or sharing their opinions with them and all of that. Just make sure you drop something on your timeline. Now, you can decide to, whatever you have actually done, break it into pieces or into piecemeals and post it more of about 10 to 15 times a day. Just break it, short micro content. That's what I call it. Now, apart from that, you need to find 10 or 20 people you can actually share your thoughts about something you think is important and you would like them to learn. Now, I used to do that via phones, but these days I prefer to do it on my social media platform. Now, the second one is start. Once you have written all the plans for the day, whatever you have written down to start, please do not go and start from the most difficult ones that can take lots of the time. Do the simplest ones you can. Probably if it has to do with calling 20 people, do that calling. it has to do with 5 minutes prayer, do the 5 minutes prayer. If it has to do with 30 minutes exercise, do the 30 minutes. Just do the simple ones so that the more you are able to achieve each task or a list of your tasks in a day, the better you feel. The more you're pushed to actually do further work on it so you can complete the rest. So start with the little ones you can as soon as you can. Now, the third one is this. For the next 30 days, pick a skill, a particular skill. Maybe you have a problem with writing, maybe writing articles, maybe you have a problem with probably designing, maybe you have a problem with actually reading. Just pick one skill in this next 30 days. And make sure that skill is important to your success. If it's about probably your kind of job that you do and you want to improve on some certain skills in that job, pick that one skill and begin to learn about it every day. Just read, practice, ask questions about it. Just get yourself engrossed in that particular skill all through. This is not to say you shouldn't do other things, but stick with that one as the only skill you want to improve on for this next 30 days. And by the end of this 30 days, get back to me on it. Don't forget, this is the Motivation Show with Team Abel, and I'm running this on my Facebook page, on YouTube, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms that are linked to my website. You can visit my website on www.teamabels.com. TIMABELS.com. Now, before I close on this, I want to say this, that self-discipline is a powerful tool that can bridge the gap between failure and success. So if you are in the bridge where, or in the area of failure before, you're finding life so tough, you lack finances, you don't have a job, whatever is your challenge in this area, and you want to move to this area, then self-discipline becomes a very important thing to practice. That is the only way you can actually move from here to this position. But again, apart from self-discipline, you need what we call purpose. Purpose is the ultimate thing that gives you a clear vision of the direction you want to go. I hope this resonates with you. Don't forget, it's a 30 days challenge, and we are going to commence this today, being the 10th of August, 2020. Now, what are the 3 things I want you to do? Number 1, don't wake up from that bed without having a clear understanding, a clear knowledge of what you want to do today. Number 2, make sure that when you have a clear knowledge of what you want to do today, write it down and share it with your partner. Then ensure that when you share it with your partner, you do not just start doing anything on it from wherever. Pick the smaller things and start doing them immediately. Finish the smaller things or the simpler things first before you get into the bigger ones. Number 3, make sure you pick one skill in this month of August and ensure that you learn everything about it, execute it, practice it, and share it with people. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye for now.